What is up, homies? Christian back again with our Twin Sons action figure close-up, and today I have for us the Hasbro 6-inch Black Series Ezra Bridger. Continuing the trend with the last few weeks of going through the Rebels, since I know they were sort of recently re-released, I figured I'd go with Ezra. And so the original release was recent enough, if you guys remember, that it actually has photoreal on it. I believe Ezra was a 2019 figure, so that was about the time they started it. And they did a pretty good job on it. So if you have the old one, definitely no reason to pick up the new one, because there's almost no difference. So starting off with the head here, you can see they did a really good job translating that animated look into real life, like I was just saying. You can tell it's supposed to be Ezra Bridger, but it's not a super animated Ezra Bridger, you know? So they did a really good job with the face printing. This is some of the earlier face printing, I believe. Because I want to say they started probably in like 2018, and I believe this figure was 2019. So within the first year and a half, this one was done. But it was really well done. Eyes look really good. And they don't have that pixelation like some of the early ones did. The hair is sort of this flat navy blue purple color. Would have been nice to see a wash or like some highlight dry brush or something, because the sculpting is really well done. It just gets lost without any paint application though, just when it's molded in this plastic. Again, it looks good, but all the detail and the texture that they went through the effort of sculpting in gets lost. So, moving on to the chest, you can see they did a pretty good job of translating his costume into real life as well. Did a really nice like mustard yellow, which I know most people would sound like it doesn't look good, but it works really well with this orange they chose and the brown they went with. The texture, as you can see in this vest, is really well done. Did a really nice texture. You can see just all the grain and stuff in it. They sculpted on the logo on the back, and they painted it very nicely. It's very clean paint application. Nothing really outside the lines here. More of that really good texture. Oh, my belt came undone. Well, I'll just snap that back real quick. And of course, as always, Hasbro nailed that texturing on the clothing underneath it. Nice wrinkles all over. Looks good as always. The belt, let's get these arms up. The belt and his like thigh harnesses, really well done as well. You can see that texturing there. They actually painted that little speckle right there, the buckle there. They painted the dots here and there. Obviously did the buckle as well. I guess he's wearing two belts. A little weird, so I'm just gonna pull that down and cover that. And I just popped it out again. So I guess it's like that for a reason. I guess it's more of a utility belt, and that's, you know, a belt to keep his pants up. But I always thought, no, I guess he's not really in a jumper. Anyway, so as you can see though, they went through a lot of effort with the paint applications on it. They painted, you know, this communicator black from the brown that it's all molded in. Put the silver there, put the silver there and there. So we're all over. Ooh, a little bit of a mess on the top there, but you know, honestly, they get an A for effort anyway, because this looks really well done. As you could tell by my issues with it, the belt harness thing does come off, and you can undo it there, and then you can just slide it down. It is all loose. These are not glued on at all, so it hinders articulation, but not too much because of the fact that it is not glued on. So it can free flow with the figure as you move the legs. Speaking of the legs, you can see they did a lot of texture on the legs. I like the line work they did here, and I really like that they actually went into the effort of doing that design there. The back's just got some wrinkles. It's got the cutoff here. It goes down to his pants, underneath his pants. I never really understood that, to be honest. The knee pads look really good. Well painted. I think these legs are molded in this black, because if you look at it, you can see there's a little bit of brown speckled onto that black when they were painting it. They got up on there. I can't honestly tell. But the pins are brown. I don't know. They can always change up because the pins are orange on here as well. But this looks like it was molded in this color as well. His shin guard and knee pad on this one Oh, very well done. Very clean white paint application on there. I like how they put the texture and the sculpting in there, like it's all blotted up a bit. I've seen some action, you can see like there, you know, some rocks and stuff have hit it before. I just really like how they put the little crack up there too. It's the small details like that that I really appreciate. Looks very well done. And his boots, shoes, well textured, well sculpted. Not too much of a texture on there, just a little bit. I don't know. See, they did the line work there. On the back, there's not much to them. They're basic shoes, you know, there's not much to them. They got this clasp looking thing on top, but it's not painted at all. So, as you can see, they did a really good job on the paint up of this figure and the sculpting of this figure. Let's go over his articulation now, shall we? So for his head, he gets, if you would call that forward, very minimal up. It seems like the back of his hair is getting in the way. Could have done a little bit softer of a plastic. It's a little soft plastic, but not like the shoulder pads where they're really soft so they don't prevent articulation. They did not do that here. So, barely look up to see Kanan. You can look down though. So you'll be able to look down and see Chopper. No lean, really. Like, sort of a little bit right there. It doesn't even go the other way, so I don't think it's actually supposed to do that. I think mine just does that, you know? It's a little bit loose there. Swivel left, swivel right. Again, doesn't really lean that way, it leans that way though. So, for the shoulder, it goes all the way around. Gets up to 90. No bicep swivel, instead we have a shoulder swivel, obviously, so it showed you. And we get the elbow swivel. So, you know, honestly, when the bicep is this close to the elbow, I don't really mind it. If I had a choice, though, I'd always spring for both. The single jointed elbow gets up to past 90. Always love to see that. You can see the deep cutout right there, which I don't mind. I'll stare at the deep cutout when it means single jointed elbows can get this high. So, his green glove on his hand, it goes down, up, but it's really just sort of a negligible amount. Really just goes up. You really gotta crank it. Down, not so much. So, oh, I missed this actually. That looks very good. The other arm is all the same, except for the wrist, as usual. This wrist goes side to side, but like the other one, really only goes up for some reason. Not too much down at all. Something about these wrist joints, I feel like they work half the time, to be honest. Going into torso, let's check out his crunch. That was a little underwhelming. Crunch to there. Looks like just the way they cut it out there. It doesn't get much crunch. But we're kind of used to that by now in the Black series. But does he lean back like a lot of them do? No. So, minimal crunch, minimal back. He does get some side to side though, which I like to see. Looks like he's doing the airplane. It's just having fun. It's an action figure, you know you're supposed to. So he does do that. And he swivels left, swivels right. And you can sort of get that lean integrated into his swiveling as well, which is really nice. Makes posing up pretty well. And his belt keeps coming undone. A little annoying. There we go. Now for his hips. We saw a little bit earlier, they get up to, what is that? They're a little bit past 45, so I'm going to call it like 55. But it's nice to see that these do not get in the way. We do have a thigh swivel for his knees. Double jointed knees, go up. You cannot kick his booty. Oh well though, it's not a big deal. And as always, we have the Hasbro Swivel Rockin' ankles. Best ankles in the game of any figure. I know I rant about that enough, but they are really good. I always just want to, you know, make sure Hasbro knows that we appreciate that. So, as far as accessories, he does come with the Stormtrooper Junior, Stormtrooper Cadet helmet. This looks really good. Very crisp on it. The line work, very clean. I really like the design of this. It's like the cross of like the Mountain Trooper crossed with like the pilot, not the pilot, but like the commanders, AT-AT commanders, crossed with the Stormtrooper, crossed with the Mountain Trooper, like I said. But again, the line work on there is really clean. I don't know how these are done because it does not feel like they're painted on, but I don't know how else they would do it if it wasn't painted on. They couldn't mold it on like that. It had to be molded in white. You can tell it's molded in white because you can see that the black is all painted on. So I don't know if it's like water decals or how they did it. If you do know how these are done, drop a comment down below and let me know, please. So it does look like it'd be too small, but it takes a little bit of finesse, but you can get it on there. And it fits perfectly. It's not going anywhere. It's pretty snug. And not like he had too much articulation before, so it doesn't really hinder any articulation. Looks very good like that. You know, let's just keep it on for the rest of the review. So, he does come with his very first lightsaber blaster combo. I really always like the idea of this. I mean, it's sort of like, I'm not going to be like, I had the idea first, because I feel like as kids we all thought of this, of combining the blaster with the lightsaber. And it just took a while to actually see it in action, so I do really appreciate this design. I like it a lot. Hasbro translated it very well. They got the little holster right there. Loop holster, whatever you want to call it. The blue is very cleanly put on right there, as you can see for how tiny this is. I mean, first digit of my finger right there. It's very clean, and the detail on it, the ribbing on there, the circle right there, the button to actually fire the blaster on there, or is that the button to start the lightsaber part? Dum dum dum, there it goes. Put that there. A little bit of a ding right there. I don't know if that's just the molding or if that's mine. Blaster emitter right there. Looks very good. Put that line up there. But it doesn't matter how good it looks if you cannot hold it. So how well does he hold it? Very well, as you can see. So it looks like he's shooting up. And it does come with the blade. So we'll attach that blade. My blade is very loose on mine. I don't know if they're all like that, or if I happen to have the wrong blade on it, but it's very loose. It actually fell off right before I was doing this review. I had to search for like 15 minutes for the blade. So if you have one, I'm curious to know if your blade also comes out really easily, because I mean, you like look at this thing wrong. Of course, I'm not going to do it now. But if you look at this thing wrong, the blade will come out. Holds it very well like this. You can get into a good like ready stance, you know. Looks really good like that. And you guys know how much I love it when this happens. The holster works. Can't remember which way it's supposed to go. I think it's supposed to go like that. So slide that on. Well, I figured the holster would have worked. To be honest, I've only ever displayed him holding the blade. I've never actually had it on its side like this. So it looks like mine hole is not cut out properly enough for his holster. Alright, well, is my face red? This is supposed to obviously work, but as you guys can tell, it obviously is not working. And if you actually look at it, it almost looks like the paint, as you guys can see in there, is thickened up the hole. So I wonder if I go in there, see, it's almost wider on that end, and closes there with a little bit of paint right there. So I wonder if I go with a toothpick, if I can get it out. But you should not have this issue. If you get this figure, looks like it's just a defect on mine. And again, I've only ever displayed him holding his lightsaber, to be honest. But as you can see, obviously, with this little hook here and the hole there, it's supposed to work. Mine just doesn't. I I feel like that happens to me a lot with Hasbro figures, so I wonder how common QC issues like that are. Overall, though, this figure is very nice. Let's for the end. Let's take it off so you guys can see his head one more time. Very nice figure. If you're just collecting, so I guess he's not like a Jedi, but if you're collecting Jedi like that, you're gonna shoot up, get him. For your Rebels crew, you should get him. He's really good. The only reason I'll tell you not to get him is if you already have this one. You don't need to get the new one if you already have this old one. There's no difference. They're both face printed, unless you're an inbox collector and you want the new boxes. But even then, obviously you're not going to buy this figure based off the articulation and stuff. So I can't control that for you. But the figure's really good. Paint app's clean. The sculpting is very nicely detailed. The head translates great into that stylized from a Black Series, from animation to real life. Looks really good. It's a really good figure. Let me know in the comments down below if you have him, and if you do, take some shots with him and the Rebel crew, and tag us at Twin Suns Outpost. Until next time, may the Force be with you.